Hello, my name is Don and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the DNT Optics The One 7-35-56 rifle scope, so stay tuned. Now guys, DNT Optics did send me this scope and I do get to keep it when I'm done. I didn't have to pay for it, but I'm not affiliated with DNT Optics in any way, shape, or form. If you buy this scope, I do not earn a commission from DNT Optics. I will, however, leave an Amazon link in the first pinned comment. If you do use that link, I will earn a small commission from Amazon. So just keep that in mind while you're watching this video. So first off, who is this scope for? Guys, this is a purpose-built PRS scope, but with its feature set, it could be used in many different types of shooting disciplines. It's got great coatings, great glass, very smooth magnification and parallax adjustments. It's got a very, very bright reticle, and it's got 2/10 subtension reticles. So guys, you could use this at bench rest, you could use this for PRS, you could use this for long range hunting, shooting groundhogs, or going out west and doing some long range hunting on elk or deer, antelope, whatever. Now, is a 7-35 ideal for hunting? No, this is probably more of a bench scope or a PRS scope, but it would probably do in a pinch. Now, I hear a lot of people saying online that the Arken EP5 and this scope in particular is equivalent to a $2,000 scope. Guys, I don't believe that. This scope runs for about $700, but it does give you 90% of the features and performance of a $2,000 scope at a third of the price. Now, this scope is probably not going to cut mirage like a $2,000 scope, but it's going to get the job done. Now guys, there is no denying that this scope is optically and mechanically identical to the EP5. There's no doubt in my mind that whoever makes the Arken scopes is also making this scope. Now, the only big difference between the One and the Arken EP5 is the knurling on the adjustments, the reticle, the location of the zero on the windage turret, and how bright it is. Other than that, this thing is identical to the EP5. So what DNT did with the zero here is they moved it from its normal position to a 45-degree position. So you can actually see where you're at on your zero from the shooter position, which is a pretty good idea. So some PRS shooters were complaining about the EP5 reticle that, number one, only the center of the reticle lit up. Now DNT listened and they made the whole reticle light up, and light up it does. Guys, the illumination on this thing is phenomenal. It's super bright. I don't know how they did it, but man, this thing is one of the brightest Christmas tree style reticles I've ever seen. All right guys, so this is setting 6. And this does have an off in between each setting. Setting 5, setting 4, setting 3, setting 2, setting 1. It doesn't get too bright. I mean, you can adjust it down, but it does make using this scope on a twilight or a night shoot very possible to use your holdovers. So that's a big plus for DNT. The other thing that they did was they made their reticle have 2/10 subtension, so it does make it a little bit easier to figure out exactly where you're at on your holdovers when you're using your holdovers to shoot long distance. Now, the other thing, guys, that they did is they actually put a throw lever on here. Now, the throw lever is a bit short. I'd like to see it probably twice as long as it is. But it does get the job done because this does not turn real hard as it is. And guys, speaking of turning the magnification and the parallax, these things are super smooth. They're very much kin to a super expensive scope. I mean, it's like butter. Everything turns so super smooth. Now, one of my favorite things about this scope and the Arken EP5 series of scopes is the turrets. How exact and precise these turrets are. There's absolutely no lash in them, and they're so audible and so exact that you never have any doubt that you made an adjustment. And this one, some of the EP5s, the early ones, it was kind of easy. Like if you were trying to go real fast, it was easy to jump way past where your intended position was. This one doesn't seem to do that, so it seems like maybe they changed that a little bit. I don't know for sure. The only thing that I don't like about these turrets is how they're held on and how the zero stop works. All right, guys, I'm going to show you the zero stop on this Arken SH4. It's exactly the same on the DNT, the one. I can't show you on the one because I already stripped out the little zero stop screws that little dinky Allen wrench right there holds in. So do this at your own risk. So that's your zero stop. So let's say you want to change the zero stop from 0 to, on this one it would be, I don't know, anywhere between 0 and 7. I like to do that because I like to use different ammunition, and that keeps me from having to reset the zero stop when I actually fall below my 0. It has some very teeny tiny little Allen screws in here that hold, well, that one's not even tight, that hold the zero stop to the center post there. Yeah, the Allen wrench is so small, I got a white piece of paper right here to set it on so I can find it. So once you loosen all 3 screws, get a flathead screwdriver and pry underneath the zero stop mechanism. And just kind of pry it up a little bit. And it's a very, very tight fit. Yeah, this one's barely wanting to come up. And be careful because you will screw up your O-ring by doing this. Actually, guys, I'm not even gonna do this, and this one's not wanting to come up. I'm actually starting to cut my O-ring, so we're gonna tighten these little Allens back and try to tighten these little Allens back up. Anyhow, what you want to do is lift this up, pop this off the scope, and then turn it back. So you're going to go from about 7 o'clock right here to about 8 o'clock, and that'll bring it back about 1/2 mil. So that's how you adjust the zero from 0 to anywhere between 0 and 7. And on the DNT, the 1, it's going to be 0 and 9 because the 1 has 10 mils revolutions. Anyway, then you just stick the cap back on. So then you just tighten up your Allens on the side here, and then you're going to loosen up this hold down screw right here. And then tighten this down until it touches, and then back it off, oh, I'd say 3/4 of a revolution, and then tighten it down. And then your zero stop will stop. And it's a hard stop. I just don't like how hard it is to move my zero from here to back here somewhere for the use of different ammunition. There are other scopes on the market right now that I've actually reviewed recently, like the new Discovery 6-36. That scope has a phenomenal zero stop, and what they do is they use the top of the turret is actually the screw on. Actually, I have it right here. So what they're doing is they're using the top of the turret as the bolt to hold the turret on. And you just loosen up the top turret, pull it off, and here's your zero stop. So all you do is you loosen up this bolt and you pop it off the adjustment turret, put it where you want it, slap it back down, tighten it up, and you're done. So guys, one of the things that I really like about this scope and the Arken EP5 is when you're looking through it, you don't see a lot of scope body when you're trying to look through the glass. Also, I can get my parallax and my reticle adjusted perfectly where I'm able to move my head all around and still have a very good, clear reticle so that I can make proper shots. That was the big problem that I had with the Discovery. It didn't do that. I had a huge problem with that. No problem with the 1 or the EP5. Now guys, the other big difference between the One and the EP5 is the price. Right now on Amazon, you can buy the One for about $693, where the EP5 cost about $551. Now, that's a $140 difference, and guys, I'm telling you, this thing is, they are pretty much identical as far as mechanically and optically. Now, the thing that sets this scope apart are the features. So guys, if you're kind of on the fence on which one you want to buy, are those extra features that you're getting on this scope, are they worth $140 to you? They are to me. I do like the fact that the entire reticle illuminates. I like the 2/10 subtension. The location of the zero, that's not really a big deal to me, but the fact that it comes with a throw lever is another big deal, because the EP5, that's an extra cost. And throw levers can run anywhere from $30 to $50. So, you know, now you're getting a little bit closer to the price of the One. So guys, let's zero this scope real quick, and then we're going to take it out to 100 yards, and we're going to shoot the 50-yard KYL at 100, and then we're going to go out to the field, and I'll show you what this looks like optically. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so we're just going to zero this real quick. Now, I did have this installed on this before, but I had to take the scope out of the rings and put it in a different setup for a tripod so I could show you guys what the glass looks like in the field. And so I took it out of the rings and then I reinstalled it. So I have no idea if it's still going to be anywhere close. Let's see where it's at right now, and we'll go from there. Hopefully it's still zeroed. I doubt it, but maybe. Wow. That's crazy, because I had this thing out of the rings the whole 9 yards. That's pretty close. Now guys, we're shooting long range match, SK. All right, so it looks like I gotta go up maybe 2/10. All right, let's see if that gets it. Yeah, that's close enough. So it looks like we definitely have our zero set. Now let's go out to 100 and we'll do a little shooting on the KYL, so stay tuned. That's a 50-yard KYL at 100 yards. We're at about 25 power right now. Guys, with the trigger cam, it's very difficult to show the quality of the glass. As you can see, the image is darkening a little bit on the right-hand side, and that's more of an alignment issue with the trigger cam than anything. The trigger cam is great for showing you what it's like to use the scope, but it definitely does not do a very good job at showing the quality of the glass. And we're going to go out to the field and do that for you here shortly. Right where I aimed. Well, that's roughly 17, 18 power right there. I'll back out a little bit more. Oh, I think it was off left again. And this one's going to be very difficult. Yep, nicked it. Good enough for me. So that's about 10 power. Let's zoom out to 7. It's about 7 power. Very, very good looking image. All right, guys, that barn right there is about 950 yards away. Let's, we're on 7 power right now. Let's zoom in. Guys, notice how good the edge-to-edge clarity is on this scope. It doesn't distort, doesn't fisheye. It looks really good. That is 16 power. We got a really bright day out here. All right, guys, that's right up to 35 power. All right, that's about as sharp as I can get it from what I can see through the viewfinder here. That right there is 20 power. Let's back this all the way out again. All right, guys, that street sign is about 1,000 yards away. We're on 16 power. Let's zoom in on that a little bit more. We're on 30 power at the moment. Let's check the parallax again. That's about as good as I can get it. Again, that's 30 power. That is 35 power. All right, guys, so that is about 650 yards away. We're on 7 power. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Again, guys, the scope is not mounted to the rifle. I have it on a camera fixture right now. All right, let's check the parallax. We are at 16 power right now. That right there is about 18 power. That's 21 power. That's 25 power. That's 30 power. And that's 35. So once you start getting to the top end, just like any other scope, it does darken up a little bit. All right, we're back to 7 power. So yeah, guys, this thing has got a pretty phenomenal image, in my opinion. So guys, to close out, if you're on the fence between the 1 and the EP5, I think you need to ask yourself, are the extra features that you get with the 1 worth the extra money that you have to pay for it? You are getting a 2/10 subtension reticle that fully illuminates. The illumination on this is super bright. The location of the windage 0 and the included throw lever, are those worth an extra $142? Now in my book, yeah, I think they are worth the extra $142. So guys, in close, is this equivalent to a $2,000 scope? No, but it does get you 90% of the way there at 1/3 of the price, and that's good enough for me. All right guys, thanks for watching.